All right, folks. Let's go. All right, folks. We've got a ongoing serious situation with a tornado warning continuing near the Minko area. We've got a currently, and this is going to be moving if it doesn't decrease, and there's no signs of it decreasing currently. This is going to be moving into the Oklahoma City Metro area proper. This Tuttle heads up, Mustang over into the southwestern sides of the Oklahoma City Metro area. This is headed in your direction, and at the very least, it's got some high winds with it. Huge lowering. Near Miko right now, which goes right along with the radar. So I'm telling you, this warning hasn't been extended yet, but it needs to be for the Southwest Metro. Sirens are being activated in Tuttle as they should be. This is a very dangerous storm. Again, anyone in the Southwest Metro area, big time heads up. Large lowering with it near Minko right now. And let's go back over here. Let's see something. Switch sources. Go back up. So anybody in the Southwest Metro, you need to be ready to seek shelter in the next little bit as this storm approaches. This is a monster storm, and at the very least, it's got some very high winds with it. The bright colors that you're seeing there, at the very least, you're going to get 75, potentially 80 mile an hour winds, but there is definitely still strong rotation. And there we go. The warning has now been extended into the Southwest Metro. So anyone from Tuttle to Mustang over to 44, just to the west of I-35, all the way up to near the airport, west of Valley Brook to west of I-35 in Moore. It's not directly affecting the I-35 corridor, but anyone over to, let's just, Newcastle, down to as far south as Newcastle, need to be in your shelters, and you need to get there now. This is a dangerous situation unfolding for the South Metro at this late hour, as we are literally 15 minutes before midnight on this Friday night. Very dangerous situation unfolding here. Tornado warning. Mustang, you're in the tornado warning now as well, as this continues moving to the east. And on its current track, it will be into Mustang at about 10 minutes after midnight now. So as it continues off to the east, and if it doesn't decrease, it could even approach the Moore area by 12:30. So again, this is a big time heads up for the South Metro. All interest in the southern sides of the Oklahoma City Metro area on this Friday night. Tornado, potentially a pretty potent one, with the indicative by the radar signatures. We're getting reports of large lowerings in the large wall cloud near Minko in the last few minutes. So again, you need to take this situation very seriously if you're in the southern sides of the Oklahoma City Metro area on this Friday night. So again, this continues to move off to the east, and I want to plug that. That's not a good tracker. So I'm going to take this. 1 second. Again, we're getting reports of a large lowering. With this, no reports of it on the ground as of yet, but the signature on radar is very strong, and you need to continue to take this very seriously as it moves into the southern and southwestern sides of the Oklahoma City metro area in the next 15, 20, 25, 30 minutes or so. So again, anywhere to the east of this, Mustang down to Tuttle, and as far east now as the western sides of the western and southwestern sides of the Oklahoma City metro area, you need to be getting into your shelters. This is a very, very impressive radar display that we're seeing, and it correlates with what reports we're getting in the field from storm trackers. Again, weather radios are still having issues with that presently. Let me see here. I'm going to pull up a different source here. And let's go to there we go, that's what I want. Bear with me 1 minute here. I'm switching sources. Let's go back over here. Rotation's becoming a little bit not as impressive currently, but everybody in the South Metro, in this tornado warning polygon, you need to be in your shelters. This includes Mustang, like I said, over to 44, down to Newcastle. Again, this is potent storm. And again, besides the tornado threat, we're talking about very large hail with this storm. Tennis ball, if not larger, as it approaches the western and southwestern sides of the Oklahoma City metro area. So again, you need to be taking this very seriously as it moves in. It's also worth noting the Oklahoma City NOAA weather radio is just dead air currently. This has been a discussion all evening, but the weather radios are, or if they are, they're not necessarily transmitting the warnings like they should. You might get one, but don't count on it working properly through the night. So please set those phones on loud, set the emergency alert notification so you'll get it'll wake you up in the night if need be, as this threat will continue well into the night. And we are getting reports from spotters in the field that the lowering has occluded. This is kind of this correlates with what we're seeing on radar. And that does happen when we see this, and you get the wind surging out ahead of it. But we still need to keep a close eye on this as it moves into the metro area. Again, even if you don't see a tornado, this is going to bring some very strong winds with it into the western and southwestern sides of the Oklahoma City metro area over the next half hour to 45 minutes as it moves in from west to east. And again, the city of Moore proper, getting close to the I-35 corridor, is not in this polygon, but if this keeps on its current track, and the circulation ramps back up, then the city of Moore, potentially down to Norman, could be in this tornado warning as we get closer to 12:30. So we need to keep a very close eye on this. I want to go back out here. And clearly we're seeing on radar, this is becoming pretty outflow dominant near Tuttle. So we'll need to watch for new cycling as it moves closer into the metro area, but it's clearly becoming outflow dominant at this point. Another area of concern is back across western Oklahoma, which is another tornado warning for Roger Mills and Beckham counties. There was a report of a tornado 3 to 4 east of Sweetwater, in the Sweetwater, Texas, a bit ago. But this is a monster storm in western Oklahoma. And so anybody in Sayre, Elk City, you need to be in your shelters. This is this has been a very long track tornado, that tornado warned storm, if you will, as it has tracked across the Texas Panhandle all evening, and it has now landed itself to the west of Elk City. So again, this is a potent storm in itself, and there's no signs of it weakening. So folks out in western Oklahoma, Elk City, Sayre, you need to keep a very close eye on this storm. This polygon doesn't technically include down to Carter or Elk City, but I assume that it will be extended here in the next little bit. Let's see here. So again, this is a very dangerous storm that we're keeping an eye on in western Oklahoma, and it's moving to the southeast at about 35 miles an hour. So again, Sayre down to Carter, over to Elk City, eventually down to even towards Sentinel, Rocky. Keep a heads up on this storm as it moves into your region. It's been a long tracker for sure. Not necessarily tornado on the ground the entire time, but we've had tornado warnings with that cell all evening through the Texas Panhandle. So that storm bears watching. Going back into the Oklahoma City Metro area currently. Let's see here. I'm curious what the Weather Service says they're going to do about this. Some folks are saying that the weather radios went off a while ago. Others are not. Like I said a while ago when we were covering that, just because you may get one warning doesn't mean that it will work in the future through the night. So let's see what the radar does here. Ooh. Okay. Choose sources. That was a bad scan. Okay. Here you go. So again, tornado warning does continue for the cell circulation. Not as impressive as it was. But again, the hail, and that's another thing. The hail, we've seen isolated reports of big hail, but the wind tonight, which is what I hammered on earlier today, the wind, the damaging winds, upwards of 75, of even 80 miles an hour, will be the big threat as we go into the overnight hours. So again, tornado warning does continue for the the western and southwestern sides of the Oklahoma City metro area. And if this continues on its current track, it will track to near the I-35 corridor and more by about 12:30 to 12:35. So again, keeping a close eye on this, getting another scan update. So the circulation is pretty much on the Canadian Grady County line, or what's left of it. Definitely not as tight, but we've got the low level jet and overnight dynamics that would favor more tornadic development as we go through the night. So definitely need to keep a close eye on things through the coming hours. Let's see. Go back to... And so again, and the reports that we're getting from chasers is that it's not looking as defined as it was, which obviously goes with the radar presentation that we're seeing, that this isn't as significant as it was looking even 10, 15 minutes ago. So, which is a good thing as it moves into the Oklahoma City metro area. However, again, those winds, they're going to be cranking. So, definitely could see winds upwards of 70 miles an hour in this complex as it moves through the western and southwestern sides of the Oklahoma City metro area. I just want to see something. Take a minute. And let's look over at the gate. Just looking at the shear rate on this. again, tornado warning continues until 12:30 for the western and southwestern sides of the Oklahoma City metro area. However, so again, as I was saying, you really don't see that tight couplet that we saw. I'm going to go back to my, well, like what we were seeing at 11:41. You're not seeing that, and let's go live now. See, you're seeing the couplet's not there, and that's what I was saying. Just from basically 20 minutes ago. So we're moving in the right direction as far as the central Oklahoma storm goes. Western Oklahoma, this storm means business, and it's meant business all evening long across the Texas Panhandle, with tornado warnings on it basically all evening. Pretty incredible. As a matter of fact, I think that storm came out of southeast Colorado. That's the same storm that came out of southeast Colorado, whatever time that was earlier this evening. And I mean, ever since then, it's been just running and gunning. So, and now it's all the way down to Sayre now. So that's a long tracker right there. Again, I'm not going to say long track tornado because it hasn't been on the ground the entire time. But we've basically had tornado warnings on it ever since it came out of southeast Colorado into the Oklahoma Panhandle and then all the way across the Texas Panhandle. I mean, it's a pretty impressive storm. And again, it's still going pretty strong. And that had a tornado warning with it. I mean, a confirmed tornado with it just a little bit ago. And again, radar presentation. So let's see here. So again, they extended this warning as they should have. So anybody in this area, Sayre, Carter, down to Carter, over to Foss, eventually to Burns Flat, Dill City, Sentinel, everybody down in that part of the state, keep a close eye on this storm. It means business. So it could be down towards Sentinel by 12:45. So you folks down there, keep a heads up to Dill City, Cordell eventually. This storm, it means business. So again, central Oklahoma, I think we're looking, I'm optimistic. Zooming in here. I need to switch back to TLX. Okay, let's go. And it looks like the tornado warning has been dropped. All right. There you have it. That's good news for the South Metro. As I was saying, we watched it live together, mile by mile, step by step, as this moved into the Southwest Metro and that circulation. I mean, it was really cranking there back to the southwest. But thankfully, it has weakened. You can see got winds rushing out of it. So again, even though we don't have a tornado, we could still see some pretty significant winds coming into the metro out of this. So keep that in mind as it moves across Mustang over towards the airport, southwest Oklahoma City. I think at least 60, maybe 65, maybe 70, maybe locally 70 from Valley Mustang, again towards the airport, southwest Oklahoma City. Gonna have some gusty winds moving in, so no doubt about that. And that will move across the entire Oklahoma City metro area in the next little bit. So heads up, Friday night, if you're out Bricktown or wherever you might be, there's going to be some gusty winds moving through Oklahoma City. So, and I think the hill, let's see here. Yeah, that's what I thought. Hill cores come down. We're looking at quarters on this warning for Cleveland, Oklahoma, Grady, McLean. As I was in messaging earlier today, I'm not saying I'm not concerned about the hill, but it's definitely a lower threat than the damaging winds. So, again, things have calmed down after that bit of excitement there for a bit with that storm as it really were cranked up in the southwest metro. So again, the tornado warning has been dropped for Oklahoma City, or the Oklahoma City metro area. That included areas to the southwest, and it's been replaced with a severe thunderstorm warning. And I want to go back. I want to also mention that I had my dual streams going. Could have gotten a lot more following tonight by that, but thanks to Sparklight, there's some streaming. I was having some streaming issues going on, so we're just streaming on YouTube currently. So, but again, we've got the tornado warning still in effect for western Oklahoma. This storm's still going. Just doesn't want to let up. So again, I probably need to, I'm going to switch sites again because I don't want to go. Yep. Anybody from in the Elk City area down to Sayre, you need to be in your shelters, and you need to be there now. This is a dangerous storm, Kate Carter. And then Burns Flat to Sentinel by about 12:45. And if this doesn't change, we'll see it extended again. So this storm's had a history of producing very large hail, baseball size or larger, earlier in the evening. So again, another thing I want to touch on, and I don't think we have the NWS. I've got another source here that I use, but basically, let's see here. Let's see if I can. I'm just going to pull up another source so I can tell you. There's a high wind warning in effect from winds gusting out of these storms. That's for parts of northwest Texas and southwestern Oklahoma. So there could be some non-thunderstorm winds out ahead of these storms in excess of 50, 60 miles an hour. So keep a heads up on that. If you live like down towards Lawton, Wichita Falls, in that region. But again, things have calmed down just a bit in the Oklahoma City Metro area, and that's a good thing. Got a lot of water, some gusty winds moving in, 60, 70. So, but the Elk City storm is definitely the storm to watch over the next little bit. But I think I'm going to end the stream shortly, or I'll leave the stream going for those that want the radar. But my main reason for coming on, no offense to those in western Oklahoma, but we had a tornado warning storm that was ramped up moving into the Oklahoma City metro area. And that has calmed down considerably over the last 30 minutes or so. So, again, basically we've got a severe storm moving through the Oklahoma City metro area, and wind and hail and whatnot over the next little bit. 60, I think 60 is a fair bet on the winds through the entire metro. Pocket change size hail mostly. Some will see quarters still. But as far as circulations go, that is a goner. So as far as the storm in the Southwest Metro. So just checking one more thing here. A little bit of circulation in Logan County. High wind warnings now in effect until 3 a.m. That's what I was talking about over across southwest Oklahoma. And so let me just do this here. So anybody down from Altus, Frederick, Lawton into northwest Texas, you could have out winds gusting, non-thunderstorm winds gusting as high as 55, 60 miles an hour. So heads up on that tonight. But things are really improving for the metro comparatively to what it looked like a little bit ago. So that's a good thing. Again. So I'm going to attempt to get some sleep tonight for a little bit at least. Because things down here in southern Oklahoma are pretty calm for the time being. Again, we will likely see storms move in through the overnight hours, and we'll have to keep an eye on that. But for now, I'm going to get off of here. And again, stay weather aware. Had multiple ways to receive warnings tonight, especially anywhere in and near the tornado watch zone. Also seeing good news before I get off here. If you look at this supercell in western Oklahoma, I'm just going to loop this here. You'll notice those pinks are disappearing. So this cell is obviously showing a downward trend as well. We're moving in the right direction. So that being said, it's not over, and more development is likely later tonight. Everybody in Oklahoma needs to have a way to receive warnings while you sleep, including green country. Seeing storms developing up towards Tulsa currently. So At any rate, again, stay weather aware. Have multiple ways to receive those warnings while you sleep, and not including a NOAA weather radio, because there's many issues still going on with them. But phones on loud, emergency alerts up, and that way you can be woke up in the event a tornado warning is issued for your location. So again, came on, watched it mile by mile. Was really ramped up about 11:40, and it's decreased. So again, no tornado warning for the metro now. So we're gonna get off of here and try to get a little bit of rest in the event this ramps back up later on tonight. So again, have multiple ways to receive warnings, and stay safe. And I'll talk to you later.
you.